Welcome back to the Mr. Big Fact Show. Now, guys, I'm going to try to make this video as fast as I can, as short as I can. Now, this is great right here, man. They're reporting that California is actually thinking about giving reparations to black descendants of slaves. Now, shout out to California, shout out to Garvin Newsom and the Democrats, I guess, because they're putting this proposal out there that they want to give at least $230,000 for each black person that has been discriminated through the housing discrimination, and also you have to be of descendants of slaves in America. You have to, your parents or your family had to be here since about the 1900s. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be where you have to prove this to get this $230K. Man, that's a lot of money. Now shout out to the black people, man, that's been fighting for this reparations, man. You know what I'm saying? Now let me say something, guys. I know people are gonna be like, yeah, you were saying we not gonna get it, this, that, and third. You gotta understand, this is California. This is not the entire country, and this is a pilot program, and it hasn't even been, you know what I'm saying, started yet. So we gotta wait and see what happens if they're just you know, putting that out there, kicking the can down the road, carrot on a stick, you know what I'm saying, to try to get blacks to vote. That's what Greg Foreman, who's a conservative pundit, vlogger, whatever, he had to say. And I'm gonna play that video for y'all in a second, but I just want to clear some things up. Let me say something. When I came out with my channel, right, I didn't hate on anybody. My first video was Will Smith smacking the shit out of Chris Rock, right? I didn't care about Tariq. I really didn't. I didn't know who he was like that. I've heard about him, but I didn't know who he was. And when I got that part of him, the tail end of this bullshit with the F.B.A. and the non-F.B.A. and the tethers and the name calling, is why I felt some type of way. Because I've told you guys multiple occasions, I'm not so-called F.B.A. I'm not one of you guys who claim that. I'm saying my people are Caribbean, so I'm a Caribbean brother. I'm a black brother, but I'm a Caribbean black brother, and I've never ever felt that I have to get reparations from the government. I've never felt that, because I already knew that from growing up and learning, you know, everything, that you know, I wouldn't get that. I did think that because I'm black, but then when it started to, you know, really, you know, I started really understanding. I said, yeah, okay. And I never felt no type of way. But, you know, these guys came out and said, we hate you guys and we don't like you and we're jealous. And, you know, how can we be jealous of something that we embrace? You know what I'm saying? We embrace black culture. We're black. We're black anywhere we go, right? We speak the same. We look the same. You know what I'm saying? The only difference is when you're talking about Africans are very tribalistic, you know what I'm saying? And they started coming here late. Caribbeans was coming here from way back when, you know what I'm saying? So they fully adapted to American society. Africans came in late, and Africans are tribalistic people, man. I know some Africans. It's hard to get into a circle. Yeah, they bougie, all of that. So he was directing this xenophobia towards everybody. He was painting with a broad brush, and a lot of people from the Caribbean diaspora, Caribbean community was always supporting Tariq. You know what I'm saying? Caribbean people jump on board everything during Black Lives Matter, all that. Who you think was marching in New York and all that? It wasn't all F.B.A. These are black Caribbeans and Africans. So y'all, what happened is these people come, you know what I'm saying, in the midst of us and try to divide. And at this point in time, in this world that we're going through, we don't need that. We don't need no divisive shit. We got a lot going on. There's killings everywhere. Black people are wilding. You know what I'm saying? And I want to just make it short by saying, I don't know if this is gonna go nationwide, if this even gets off the ground, because you know they like kicking the can, right? When the election comes in, they keep kicking the can, and after the election, yeah, we're gonna do another research. And you know what I'm saying, guys? They've been doing it for decades and decades and decades. So yeah, that's crazy. That's great. I hope it happens. When I saw it, I was like ecstatic, because I don't know. There's something about black people getting redemption, man. And They lie to y'all and told y'all that people like me that ain't F.B.A. and my parents and my grandparents is Caribbean, whatever, we are jealous. Of what? No, we're not jealous, bro. And our parents and grandparents was, they were different types of people, man. They came to America and they were scared. They didn't want to mess around with the wrong people, because boom, right out the country, you get deported. You know what I'm saying? One chance you get to come to the great America and you can't fuck it up. So a lot of people had to walk on eggshells, and this is the reason why they separated from the so-called American blacks. And these so-called American blacks, a lot of them, y'all don't even understand the dynamic of this. I grew up in New York, so I know these are descendants of Caribbean and African people. This is their kids. So y'all thinking that this is a whole F.B.A. Former slave descendants being hated on by immigrants. No, these people that the Caribbean people coming to America don't want to associate with are also Caribbean. If you look at what the definition of F.B.A. means, these are kids and grandkids of first generation and second generation immigrants that they don't want to associate with. I know it for a fact. I know how it goes. I've seen it. This is not you're Black American, you're F.B.A. and you're a descendant of a slave. No, it's the same people that are of the same lineage, of the same culture, that just grew up in America and adapted certain traits and certain things about them that the new Caribbeans that come to America say we're not associating with them, and that's why they call them Yankees. Even if you're a Caribbean, your parents was a Caribbean, and you was just born in New York, the Caribbeans would call you a Yankee. It ain't about no F.B.A. or being a descendant of a slave. It was just you're a Yankee because you have American traits. You're not Caribbean enough, or you're not African enough, so they call you a Yankee. And even being called a Yankee in some instances was actually a prideful thing, because you were born in America. I'm a Yankee. Yeah, people wore that with pride. That was not derogatory. It's never been. And besides, the New York Yankees is from New York, so they called them Yankees. It's not a derogatory thing. The whole Akata thing in the African side, I don't know a lot about that. I mess with some African dudes, and I know out here where I live at. They cool. They very tribalistic. They have their own circle. Everybody that go to these functions are the same people from the same community. They all know each other. You know what I'm saying? So there's a difference, and it's not that nobody hates F.B.A. That's bullshit, man. It's not true. It's a lie. There's people that feel that type of way, but I've never met any of them. I've never heard my parents or nobody say nothing bad about Black Americans ever. The talking points are coming from people that were really doing dirt to Black people. You know who I'm talking about, them Europeans. This is the talking points of them. This is what they say behind closed doors. And when I found out Tariq was talking like that, I had to say, nah, this is crazy. You know what I'm saying? But let me let y'all listen to what he had to say about this, and I hope that this thing passes and Black people get their just due. And I hope that when you get that money, you get your ass out of California and go somewhere where that money is gonna work for you. Cali's expensive. You can't even get a house for $250K. You know what I'm saying? Let me listen to Greg Foreman for a while, guys. Let's go.
Solutions is not to put the fire out, right? It is actually to pour more fuel on the fire and hope and pray that the fire doesn't burn more people. Okay. However, again, because Democrats think that the people that they appeal to are not very smart, they believe that this is a good strategy. Okay. And what Garvin Newsom is proposing here is literally buying the Black vote, right? Because he is proposing a reparations plan, or supporting a reparations plan that would pay Black Californians who have been descendants of slaves and also face housing discrimination. He's going to pay them, or he wants to pay them, over $200,000 in reparations. I want you guys to actually listen to Jesse Waters discuss Gavin Newsom's plan. Take a look.
Gavin Newsom's licking his chops. He may have run California into the ground, but he's young, he's got good hair, and is related to Nancy Pelosi. What more could you want? A state filled with crime, illegals, and rampant homelessness is a good track record as far as Democrats are concerned. But Newsom's kicking it up a notch. He wants to launch the most expensive reparations plan in American history. over $500 billion, $250,000 for any black person whose ancestor faced housing discrimination. How do you know if you faced housing discrimination? Well, that's determined by Newsom's Reparations Task Force. To be eligible for cash, you have to be the descendant of any black person born in America before 1900. When someone says reparations, you're probably thinking that cash should go to the families of enslaved black Americans.